Captain Keyes.
Sir, I'm here to report that there's this guy named Rick. And I kid you not, he turns himself into a pickle.
At its launch, Halo Infinite looked like it was going to be the next big game. What wasn't there to love? You had a completely free-to-play multiplayer, open beta, just really cool weapons like the shock grenade or the grappling. Oh my god, the grappling. Look! I did it! Oh, put it in my veins. It's genuinely never not the coolest thing in this game.
The grapple. Oh my god.
Anyway, we had new maps coming soon, a co-op campaign. They've got Colgate and Pepsi, man. Whatever this is, take my money. It was looking really good for this game. Peaking at something like 250k people playing at one time, it seemed clear as day that Halo was back and in a big way. At least that's what it seemed like.
Tell that to the Covenant.
Before we start, I just want to ask you, when was the last time you actually sat down and played the game? Odds are, if you're on PC at least, you haven't touched the game since December. And I honestly can't say that's not for good reason, but we'll get into that in a second. For a little preface, unlike seemingly most of the people talking about Halo's slide in popularity after release, I wasn't originally a huge Halo guy.
Why do you have a shotgun?
I just want to talk to him.
I played Halo 4 when it came out, maybe when I was in middle school, and I liked it. It was fine. It was passable. But between Black Ops 2, Battlefield 3, and then later, I think, GTA released the following year, the multiplayer experience Halo was offering just didn't seem fun. Like, I loved the campaign, which is apparently a very controversial opinion, which... wow. Interesting subreddit. It's very positive, very cool. But honestly, for whatever reason, none of the games hooked me until... I love this game so fucking much. I remember when my buddy Carl hit me up in November saying, "You need to try this new Halo with me." That's how he sounds. And I thought it was gonna be like the one time we both thought it would be a great idea to touch the game unturned. We played it for maybe an hour, uninstalled it immediately, whatever. But as soon as we were playing, it was like love at first sight. Yeah, it was a little janky, it was still in beta, but in a period of fast time to kill, too many customization options, battle royales, all that kind of stuff, whatever Battlefield 2042 was, Halo Infinite was just Halo. There were no loadouts, no perks, no anything. If you wanted a better anything, you had to be the first one to get it on the map. Want a better gun? There's one on the wall. Need better grenades? They're over there. There was something really approachable about the simplicity of it all. You didn't need to learn the meta of what's the best gun with what's the best perk. You could just play the game immediately, and that was really refreshing. It's a game where the only thing separating your team in victory was skill, and this was something I fell head over heels for. Keeping in mind, I hadn't touched a ranked multiplayer game mode since League play in BO2. Ranked in this was great for me. Being just a beta, having ranked play, and honestly some pretty good maps, except for this is shit. I was really just excited to play the game. I placed Platinum 1 at first, but that wasn't enough, so I started grinding even more and got all the way up to mid diamond before I found out my university was starting a Halo team, and I was like, that sounds kind of cool. You know, younger me always wanted to get into that, so I tried it out and I got on the team and met some really dope people. Shout out UB Blizzards. And as it turns out, I also wasn't the only one diving into the game and loving it. There were people who had never played Halo. There were people who loved the old ones. There were people who stopped playing after 4 like me. And all of them were just happy to be there. It was kind of surreal when you're so used to games being toxic and everyone was just kind of happy and vibing. Of course, there were some bugs. There were only a few maps, and the skin shop did seem kind of pricey, but there was good news. A roadmap was on the way for updates, new maps soon, and as soon as February. Around December, I was putting in hours this game, and so were so many people, because it was looking really promising for Infinite. So this is the part where it gets sad. Co-op campaign? Delayed. Custom forge? Delayed. New game modes? Ranking system balance? Oh boy, there are opinions on that. And that promised roadmap, not there. First and foremost, I've been seeing a lot of stuff, specifically on the subreddit, that Halo Infinite is a bad game. And it's not. It's not. Mechanically, it's really fun. We wouldn't play it if it wasn't a fun game. The issue is, there's nothing for that fun game to do. There's no systems around it to make it better. And there are complaints about hit detection, latency issues, even like aim assist being too strong on controller, which are all valid. But if the core game doesn't have a shit together, it doesn't matter. Those were issues we had in Black Ops 2. Those are issues we'll have in any game moving forward still. But I think if we stick it with the Black Ops 2 comparison for a second, we can see pretty clearly what exactly went wrong.
I kid you not, Arbiter. He turns himself into a pickle. He's called Pickle Rick.
Both of these games on paper are pretty similar. They both had similar initial trajectories. Both were major releases, strong core game mechanics, and exceptional campaigns. Oh my god, they're both. I need to make a video on Black Ops 2. Both set record numbers for concurrent players, a slam dunk. Just overall, everyone was talking about them when they first came out, and they're like, this is the big multiplayer. What you see on the screen now is the release schedule for each game as things were released in the first year. And now, once they're side by side, you can kind of see an issue, especially when I put Halo's player data right in the background. Where Halo Infinite's player base begins to decline, Black Ops 2 has a map pack. And while I couldn't find exact data, I think it's safe to say, based off the game's success, when those updates come out, the player base probably went up. It kept it afloat, kept interest going. Halo, we just don't see that. It's almost a nosedive. Black Ops 2 had updates prolonging the game's own lifespan by providing players more content that built off an already fantastic core to gameplay. Halo has tumbleweeds and broken promises. It's April 10th as recording this, and we still don't have a roadmap. It's still season 1. The game's been out for 6 months. And then when you factor in the number of maps even on launch of both titles, it gets even more glaring. Black Ops 2 had 14 multiplayer maps and at least 8 different game modes.
Halo had 6.
This is where Halo's simplicity starts to bite it in the ass. With such limited game modes, as soon as maps get stale, the whole game gets stale. There's only so many times you could do Slayer on the same map, or Oddball, or CTF, before it just gets repetitive, especially with the size of Halo's maps, and some of them being symmetrical. There's just no way you can expect players to stay engaged for 6 months with the same maps, the same guns, and nicer skins. It doesn't have to be this way. All it takes is a few maps, infected as a game mode, and there's plenty to do here. It's a fun core game. It's just updates that Halo doesn't have right now, and then broken promises about when those updates are gonna happen. If we again pull up the Black Ops 2 metric, there were countless weapons and perks and combinations you can make with them that really added an in-depth customization. Halo, for all of its simplicity, ends up feeling really bland. Now, the good news is all the game needs is maps and game modes, and that's surprisingly easy, especially once Forge comes out, if it ever does. Unlike Black Ops 2, Halo Infinite's free to play. There is such a low barrier of entry for new players to come in and old players to come back. If they ended up not liking it, they didn't refund it and they're never gonna purchase it again. If they hear it's good, they can just hop back, which means they have a chance at redemption. If, over the course of the summer, more maps come out, more updates, please, for the love of God, give me Infected. And then after the multiplayer's up to speed and has more content, you have co-op release with Forge, bringing back the old players and new. That's just a recipe for success. That could 100% revive it. But they need to start releasing updates on time. They need to make good on their promises, release a roadmap, stick to it, and just make the game good. We want it to be good. So that's my prediction and how I think we could fix Halo and make it be a comeback. I would love to hear what you think. I know there's a lot of negativity about it in the state of the game in general, but I'm optimistic. I kind of have to be. I like the game. I play it semi-competitively. I would like to have it have a future, but it's out of our hands. We just have to see. Thanks for watching. This is a new style of video for me. Definitely not what most people here are used to, but let me know what you think. Let me know if you like it. Thank you so much for 100 subs. I think we hit 150. Have a good day, guys, and I'll see you later. Bye. Also, new mic. Don't I sound good?